All right, let's talk about passive income. Welcome to today's explainer, where we're going to completely demystify this whole concept. Look, if you've been putting off creating new revenue streams because you think it requires some massive bank account to even get started, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to prove that you absolutely do not need thousands of dollars to start building extra financial security. We're zeroing in on the absolute easiest ways for beginners to get the ball rolling today using resources you probably already have.
So here's our roadmap for the explainer today. 1. What passive income really is. 2. Investing time instead of money. 3. Monetize things you already own. 4. Investing with a small budget. And finally, 5. Choosing your first income stream.
Okay, moving into section 1, what passive income really is, shattering the something-for-nothing myth.
We really need to start by redefining what passive income actually means. Technically, sure, the IRS says it comes from rental property or a business you don't actively participate in, but in practice, listen, it is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Not at all. Instead, it's a highly strategic way to front-load your work or your investment. You do the heavy lifting early on so that the asset can eventually just go ahead and work for you later on autopilot.
The absolutely crucial point here is exactly what financial coach and retired hedge fund manager Todd Tresidder points out. You have to put in the effort at the beginning to reap the rewards later. I know it has that flashy get-rich-quick appeal all over the internet, but the reality? The work doesn't disappear. It simply shifts right to the start of the project.
Let's contrast what we actually want versus what we're trying to avoid. A second job is definitely not passive income, right? Because you're still endlessly trading your time for money. If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. True passive income is about setting up systems like dividend stocks or a digital product that eventually pay you while you sleep. And, quick side note, non-income producing assets like regular non-dividend paying stocks or standard crypto, those aren't passive income either, simply because they don't generate regular cash flow.
Let's jump to section 2, investing time instead of money, the sweat equity route. For those of you starting with exactly $0 in startup capital, here are some highly accessible creative ideas where the financial barrier to entry is essentially non-existent. It relies entirely on your passion and your sweat equity. Whether it's writing a short ebook, starting a blog or YouTube channel about a specific niche you love, selling t-shirt designs, or maybe coding a simple app, your investment here is strictly time. You're basically building a cash-generating asset right out of thin air.
And by utilizing these digital strategies, you can test out different ideas incredibly cheaply. The real magic here is scale. If you create a fantastic ebook or a slick graphic design, you let a platform's massive worldwide distribution, places like Amazon, YouTube, or Etsy, do all the heavy lifting of actually finding the buyers. You literally create the item once, and you can potentially sell it hundreds or even thousands of times. Just remember, the internet is crowded, so you really want to lock in on a highly specific niche that you're genuinely passionate about.
Moving right along to section 3. Monetize things you already own, the use what you have route.
I want you to mentally look around your house or your garage right now. Got an empty driveway? A dusty lawnmower? There is a very, very good chance you have idle assets sitting around that other people are actively willing to pay for. It's an amazingly easy way to start today for the simple reason that you already own the asset. This whole process is almost laughably simple. Do you live near a busy commuter train station or maybe a concert stadium? Rent out your parking space. Have high-value items collecting dust, like expensive power tools, large Yeti coolers, or a big camping tent? People generally only need these things for a short weekend, so it makes zero sense for them to buy them outright. You identify what you have, throw it up on an online rental platform, and just collect the fees. You're extracting real cash value from things that were literally just sitting there taking up space. All right, section 4, investing with a small budget. The small change route. $25. That is literally all you need to become a lender right now. If you have just $25 in your pocket, you can act as the bank through peer-to-peer platforms like Prosper, earning interest on fractional personal loans. Now, obviously, there are risks here since the loans are unsecured, but you manage that risk by spreading tiny amounts across multiple different loans. It's just a completely fascinating way to make your cash start working for you. But, hey, if P2P lending sounds a little too intense or complex right now, don't worry at all. For complete beginners, there are incredibly easy, safe entry points to let your money make more money without needing a massive initial bankroll. These 4 options are absolutely fantastic starting blocks. So if you want zero risk, opening a high-yield savings account or a certificate of deposit takes maybe 5 minutes online.
Online banks generally pay significantly higher interest rates than your local brick-and-mortar branch down the street, and as long as the bank is FDIC insured, your money is completely protected up to $250,000. It's the absolute safest way to guarantee a purely passive return. You just park your cash there and sit back while the interest accrues.
Or, what if you've always wanted to get into real estate, but you don't have a massive down payment? And more importantly, you absolutely do not want to run out to fix a tenant's broken dishwasher the night before Thanksgiving. Well, buying fractional shares of a real estate investment trust, or a REIT, on the stock market is the perfect workaround. The REIT manages all the properties and passes along most of their income to you, the shareholder, as dividends. You get all that sweet real estate exposure with none of the 2 a.m. landlord headaches.
Finally, let's hit Section 5, choosing your first income stream, taking action today.
Take a quick moment to honestly assess your own personal resource inventory today. Which piece of this pie is the largest for you right now? Is it available time, existing assets, or a little bit of small cash? Whatever your biggest resource is, I want you to choose just one stream from that specific category to focus on. Seriously, don't overwhelm yourself trying to start a YouTube channel, rent out your driveway, and buy REITs all in the same weekend.
Because remember, the key to long-term success is starting small with your chosen resource. Then, and this is crucial, reinvest those early earnings to unlock higher-tier opportunities. If your parking space makes you $50 this week, take that $50 and buy a dividend stock. Talk to people who are already crushing it in your niche so you can learn from their slip-ups instead of making your own. Slowly but surely, you're going to build this diversified safety net. That way, if one income stream takes a hit during an economic downturn, the others just keep keeping you afloat.
I'm going to leave you with this fantastic benchmark from financial planner Jerry Lynch. People are always asking him, Jerry, when will I be truly financially successful? And his answer is incredibly simple but profound: when your passive income exceeds your expenses. So, take an inventory of your resources, pick your starting point, and start building towards that exact life-changing moment today.